Pull it up right here. See if y'all heard this.
Mother, father, dual parent.
Mm-hmm.
We want that kid to be 3, 5, and up because you got to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad decisions off the field at all,
Mm-hmm.
because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes and what we look for when we see a quarterback. And you would love a coach's son. Somewhere that the coaches coached him, and I'm not going down my road. I see you smiling because
I know who your quarterback is.
He's
right
talking
now.
about my son. I'm like Oline. I look for dual parent homes,
right?
A strong father that they adhered to,
right?
Smart kid, at least 3 and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah,
Well.
tough.
I mean,
physical. I mean, offensive line. My defensive line is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I mean, I'm talking about just trying to make it. He's trying to get the mom a different. Yeah, he wants.
Okay, so y'all heard, right? Y'all heard what Deion had to say. So basically, Deion said he gave his criteria. What he looked for in quarterbacks: 3.5, mama, daddy in the house. You know what I'm saying? O-line, strong father figure. Blah blah blah. 3.0, whatever he said. Then he got the D lineman, and he like, man, single mama. I want him to be struggling, and I want somebody who feel that they got to get their mama, you know what I'm saying, out the struggle and a fighter. Basically, what he's looking for.
No daddy
KB,
defense.
How you feel about what Deion said?
Man, I don't want to take too much to heart of it, because we've heard Rich say Dabo recruits a certain type of kid, and Dabo like 2-parent families.
Yes, he does.
I can't take too much out of it.
Man, but Dabo right, he can say stuff like that. Like Deion used to say you want a 2-parent home. You want a 2-parent home guy.
When's your turn? Let's stop skipping the lunch line. Dang. Rich, how you feel about it, Rich?
I mean, to be honest, I understand why he said it, and he's saying stuff that you would say in the locker room, you would say amongst the coaches at a diner. They'd be like, hey, who's that quarterback's dad? Did he play for his dad? That stuff means a lot, because he's absolutely right. You don't want a quarterback who you don't want a quarterback who is constantly getting in trouble, constantly can't pass his classes, and because those guys, they're leading your whole team. Everybody's following them. So
right,
nobody's perfect, and you do have some outliers, like Lamar Jackson, for instance. He comes from a single parent home, but that single parent knew, because you look at his story, she made him play up up north a little bit, as opposed to going to a Deerfield Beach or whatever, being around, what I'm saying, trouble or whatever the case may be. So it's always going to be outliers to everything, but I get what he's saying. And, with a D lineman, yeah, you want dogs, you want somebody who this is their way out, and I get it. And there's where you start from in life does not determine where you finish, where you're going to end up. So
shout out to
people take it.
Shotty, though. Go ahead.
I was about to say people take it to heart, but just remember that where you start from is not where you finish. That's what's most important.
X, what you thought about what he said?
Again, I'm gonna say it again. Like Deion, you ain't supposed to talk about two parent home. Like you being a black brother, man. Like, come on, Deion. We know the statistics is here. Half of these kids don't have 2-parent homes. And you telling me you don't want a quarterback because he don't have a 2-parent home? Like, what is that? Like, you're basically saying what the other people say. You know what I'm saying? That's what they thinking. That's what they say. Hey, well, most of these kids don't have 2-parent homes. And guess what they say? Well, most kids who don't have 2-parent homes end up in trouble or end up. This is what they saying. So it's like, Deion, you basically saying the same thing. Then to go and say, well, I want my D-line to have a 1-parent home. Oh, well, come on, Deion, make up your mind. Who do you want on your team? Do you want You know what I'm saying? It's like when Duke was recruiting back in the 90s and the 80s, Duke was recruiting certain players. And they let it be known that they wanted certain players. What are you saying, Deion? Do you want certain players only? You know, I don't know. I mean, but it is what it is, man. Hey, Deion, he's the coach,
is Miami? It's weird to hear people take on this. I was on the phone with somebody for 30 minutes a day, and he said Deion talking about black kids. He talking about black kids, and I said he didn't say nothing about race. Nah, man, you know he talking about black kids.
He didn't have to say nothing about race, but what Streeter, you was a CEO. You was a CEO, man. When you was a CEO, most of those kids who came in there had what? Single parent homes, right or wrong?
Yeah, I think statistics show that kids with single parent homes have a better.
So when he say that, when he say, "Oh, I want a kid who has a 2-parent home," he's not talking about what?
He's not talking about what?
He said I want a quarterback to have a 2-parent home. He ain't talking about black quarterback there.
God, I was hoping he didn't say that.
He ain't talking about a black quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just keeping it 100.
Can we name black quarterbacks that come from 2-parent homes?
I don't know.
What are we
Jalen
doing?
Hurts, right?
Yeah, of course. Pat Mahomes. What are we talking about here?
Pat Mahomes is mixed to the 100th degree. Like we talk about a kid.
What about what's his name?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yeah, Bryce Young.
Deshaun Watson. Where did Deshaun Watson come from?
Single parent, mama.
But okay. Listen, see, it's weird for Deion to say this, right? And then the reaction of black people is weird to me because he didn't say a race.
He didn't.
Man, he's talking about 3.5 with 2 parents. He ain't talking about black people.
So basically, we wanted Deion to come out and say, I don't want a black quarterback because he has a single parent home. We want him to say that.
X, you steady walking down that alley. Come on back here, boy. You're going too far, X. Come on back.
You saying he didn't mention any race, but I'm saying, so do we want him to just come out and say that? Like, hey, I don't want no quarterback. No black quarterback because he probably don't got no 3.5. He probably got a single mom home.
What you think he'll consider his son? What you think he'll consider his son?
Deion's son is a single parent home. He didn't
Okay. Great. So listen. So you're saying that the only options he had was to say what he said, or either say, "Man, I don't want no black hood quarterbacks." That what you saying?
I want to hear KB's take.
I'm saying that's how I took it. I took it from him saying, well...
Listen, dog, a lot of y'all response to what he's saying has a lot to do with who y'all see in the mirror, dog.
What you mean, who we see in the mirror?
It's how you see life. You're saying to yourself that there's no Don Cheneys out here. You know what I'm saying? There's no... Dog, what he said had no color on it.
I'm not saying that, but see, now you making it seem like I'm saying it or we're saying it. We're saying we looking at Deion. We looking at Deion, and guess what? Deion is saying the same exact thing that the other people are saying.
Okay. Is Mario Cristobal recruiting a different kid right now?
Mario Cristobal ain't come out and say nothing like that either.
Is he recruiting a different kid?
Yes.
Has to have a criteria, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it ain't got nothing to do with they got to have a double parent home or no 3.5. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm pretty sure the grades have something to do with it.
I mean, yeah, grades obviously, but not. Come on, he's not saying I only want kids with 3.5. Like, if that's the case, then we probably won't get half of the kids we got.
No, dog. Listen, X. He said what he said. I was on the phone with somebody for 30 minutes a day. I wanted him to come on here because his take on it was hardcore. He didn't mention race not one time. Y'all are saying when he say 2 parents, 3.5, oh, he must be talking about Samoans or something. He cannot be talking about. And that, bro, is how you see life. That's how you see life, dog. Everything ain't Opalaka and Miami Gardens around this country, dog. There's some well-off people. There's some well-off blacks around this country. Like,
Yeah,
there's some black.
most definitely. But again, Deion is speaking and saying the exact same thing that the other people are saying. I'm not speaking on Obalaka or Miami. I'm speaking on what Deion said. Guess what? The other people saying the same thing.
What's the difference between a kid coming from a one-parent home and a two-parent home?
Ask Deion.
Come on,
Ask Deion.
Come on, Rich. What's the statistics say? What does statistics say?
Man,
Kid comes from a two-parent home. One, huh?
If you go by the stats, then all right. So the elephant in the room is the fact that you have damn near 80% of African Americans be born out of wedlock. So that means 80% of the population is single parent homes. So when you say single parent homes, there's only a 20% chance that you're going to have or recruit a black quarterback. And I get that. Also, to your point, Street, when you mentioned single parent homes once again, you said that the statistics are also negative when it comes to single parents and kids that are incarcerated. So that goes into, and if you're incarcerated, especially at a younger age, that means your focus was not on the books, right? Your focus was probably somewhere else. So now when you talk about having that 3.5 or 3.3, it's not likely if you in and out of juvie, in and out of whatever, right? So we have to almost look at ourselves and say, okay, this is the criteria that they're looking for, and that will never change. It will never change, because at the quarterback position, you're going to look for somebody who can lead men, meaning they can go before men and people can look up to them because of them having certain aspects of their life right. With offensive line, you got to know the playbook. You got to be somebody who likes to study. You got to be somebody who likes film. And you got to be somebody who's willing to stay in college and not flunk out of college.
My dog Rich.
Because you're going to be in there for 4 to 6 years. You're not going to be in there.
Rich over there like this. He should have had Rich interpreting what he was saying over there like this.
I mean, you as an offensive lineman, when you hear them boys, you know, when they be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my talents to Alabama, and I'm gonna be there for 3 years. For the next 3 years, as an offensive lineman, if you thought that way, you're gonna be in for a big surprise, man, because a lot of offensive linemen